Is that the music? Dun, 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 dun,
Games on the rocks.
dun,
When
dun.
the ladies we're having games on the rocks. What the ladies.
Oh dear God.
Did you like my song,
Welcome.
everybody? Yeah, I thought that was pretty
Cruising
good.
in on the best theme song ever.
It was improvised, but you know, I went with
It's
it.
amazing.
That was my favorite song that's ever happened. I'm just gonna put that out
Thanks.
there.
Yeah, it was just like really off the top of my head. You guys inspire me every day.
Well, welcome everybody to another session of Games on the Rocks here with the Meeples Included crew. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we're down one Meeple tonight. Stephanie Straw isn't able to join us tonight. She's a little bit tired. That lady burns it on both ends of the candle, you know.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's taking a much deserved night off, but we do still have 3 of the 4 normal crew, and special thank you to Ace from DFW Nerd Nighters and a whole bunch of other amazing board game stuff for helping us get the feed set up tonight. Really appreciate it. So let's say hi to the ladies. Nicole, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I am a little bit dopey on antihistamines tonight, so apologies in advance if I start to flag a little bit. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. Glad it's the weekend. So,
Yay, TGIF, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And who's there in the dark, like mood lit room over there?
Hola.
It's so dark in here.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, my house is so darn dark. I don't know. Susan and I live so close to each other. We should have the same light, right?
Absolutely, right.
But you live in the burbs with like track lighting and stuff, right?
the magic of track lighting. How are you doing, Marguerite?
I am tired as heck.
Well, it doesn't
Yay,
show.
it's
You
our
look
team.
amazing tonight.
It's good though. I'm doing well. The stores all right now have Halloween flavored things, so I can get new mugs. So I got like skull mugs.
It's awesome. Those are so
I like
perfect for
that.
you.
Nice.
Well, speaking of mugs, we'll segue into a drink. Hopefully, everybody had a chance. We all kind of tried to share our signature cocktail of the evening tonight, which is the Sage Advice cocktail, courtesy of Marguerite Cottrell. Thank you very much. And the Sage Advice cocktail has a citrusy, earthy feel. We've got 2 ounces of Blanco tequila, a half ounce of blur, that
Yes,
one.
blur.
2 ounces of lime juice, some simple syrup, and 3 fresh sage leaves. And there's no cheating with dried sage, people. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Oh.
So Marguerite, unfortunately, Suzanne couldn't get her butt in gear, and so I am drinking very fancy, delicious ginger beer tonight. But
Well,
Marguerite,
that's
it
the
looks
best ginger beer.
have a beautiful drink. You want to show it off, girl?
So I made our signature drink this evening with some freshly bruised sage, and it's definitely an old cocktail of mine. I simplified it for the stream, but it's delicious. Tequila and sage are amazing.
Wow.
Throw a little soda in this, and it's good to go.
I would never have thought to put tequila and sage together, but I can definitely see how that would work.
I will put tequila and anything together, though, so it's probably my fault.
Would you put tequila in blue Gatorade? Because of my medication today, I am going sober. So I have a little blue Gatorade cocktail here with a sour strawberry garnish.
You're so
you know,
fancy.
I wanted to fancy it up a little bit. So here I am, hydrating and feeling better.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies. Well, spill it. I know we've all been playing some games, and I want to hear about it. So Bray, who wants to start? Marguerite, Nicole. I know. Well, Marguerite, I love you, but do you mind if I ask Nicole first about
Nicole,
Feast of Odin?
Yeah, I need to know.
I want to
the
know
info.
about Feast of Odin.
So this was my first game, and it was just 2-player, me and Evan, and I won. so I already love it. But it is really intriguing. I get frustrated a little bit with Agricola. I don't tend to play that anymore, and I haven't tried Caverna, so I don't know how this compares to that. But it's a worker placement game. You're gathering resources. You're trying to, and there's like a little patchworky element. You've got your own player board that you're trying to cover up to maximize points with stuff that you're gathering by placing your workers out on the board. So there's a lot going on. Like, it's really busy. But once you kind of know the flow of it, it's got a really good like round flow board that you kind of follow to guide yourself through it. And once you get the hang of it, it's a 7-round game. You need to think about feeding your Vikings, sending them out for hunting and pillaging and building boats and things like that. And so it's just, yeah, it's a Viking sim, and it's great.
That sounds amazing. I cannot wait to try it. I've got it pre-ordered, but alas.
The box is super huge. I would hold it up and show you, except it's actually what's propping my laptop up tonight. It is that big. It is like a hand and a half tall.
Oh, that's amazing. How much does it weigh?
Stuff. I haven't really moved it other than to shuffle it around on our table, but it's got a lot in it. There's a lot of boards. There's 2 little trays for components that come with it, which is really great. Because it would be,
that's awesome.
It would be nightmarish to try and set that up otherwise. So it comes with these like lovely trays that fit neatly in the box. And then for just other resources and stuff, we have the little foldy bowls that Sue's kind of brainstormed, and we've all kind of made our own versions of, just to hold the rest of it. And yeah, it's really, really good. I think Rosenberg is in his strong Tetris phase, which I'm into. Like, I love that he can make something like Patchwork with that aspect to it, and then Cottage Garden, which is coming out, but then also Feast for Odin, which has this like huge spatial element of trying to figure out how best to maximize what you're getting throughout the game, because you can't shuffle it around once you've committed it to your board. So it's really, really good. I would like to try it with more than 2, but with just how busy the game is and the thinkiness of it, I think it might kind of bloat out time-wise, but we'll see. Like, the dynamic of it could really change with 3 players, and it could flow just as easily. So I'm looking forward to trying it with more people for sure. So
that sounds so good. I cannot wait to get it. I have all the envies that you have it, but thanks for sharing the dish.
I'm lucky that my partner has done a bunch of translation work for Z-Man, so we often get games that he's worked on, which is awesome. So we got that because he translated it for the English market, and he got for me, because he doesn't really mind if we have the expansion, but we got the Cacao expansion, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah.
Once again, not speaking multiple languages bites me in the butt. Like, I could be translating. I could be like
pretty much
awesome games early. Darn it!
Deep in the game. Again. Just get English or German or French or something.
Darn my English only world. Ugh. All right, Mags. What's been on your table lately?
So I was gonna say I hadn't played anything new, but I realized we haven't done this stream in a while. I did a 24-hour marathon between the last time we did this stream. Right. Yeah. So one of the local stores out here does a 24-hour gaming marathon. And what's nice about this particular marathon is that those of us that attend it will tend to go for the bigger, chunkier, longer games. So in one day, I will read these out to you. I played Kanban, Arkwright, Tempura, Medici, Domus Domini, Legendary Big Trouble in Little China, Captain Sonar, Signori, The Castle Burgundy, Spyfall, and I missed one. No, I missed one. Oh, well, we played cards. Oh. So that was 24 hours of my life, and it was amazing. Domus Domini was like a super big treat because I don't get to play that super often. It came out at Essen last year, and it never got a US release. And it's just this goofy little like racing monk game where you just try and like you're a monk trying to build a garden or a brewery and racing off to sell your goods at the country inn, and then if you want to, if someone's ahead of you, you kind of like throw a brother at them to talk to them so long that they fall behind you. It's a really weird little game.
Weird.
Yeah. And then playing Captain Sonar was an experience.
All right.
So we played it real time because it's the only way I'm going to play that game. I don't know that the turn by turn is going to be for me. And of course, the way things shake out, I ended up taking the captain seat. This is the worst idea in the world because everything I thought I was doing on purpose, I'm like, yeah, go north because I'm like hoping they'll cross off a specific thing. And then everything just went to hell and they won like 4-1. It's really bad.
Whoa.
I just played Captain Sonar last night, and I still love it. Yep, I played the captain.
Were you?
I played. Well, we played 3-on-3, and for me, Captain Sonar is purely a 6-player or 8-player game.
Yes, 100% agree.
I won't play it with any other player count, but we played 6-player, and I was the captain and the first mate, and I'm not going to point any fingers because a good leader accepts responsibility and is accountable for their team. But my radio operator may have missed the moment that the opponent said silence. And we were tracking them really, really well. And then all of a sudden they're like, mines, activate mines and torpedoes. And they hit us twice and we're done. But we had fun. It was fun exploding underwater and dying a violent watery death. So there's that.
I think it's a really fun game. Like we played on the weekend as well with 6, and I was the captain and the first mate. And that's how I'd played it before with 6. And there's just this element to it where it's like you start off and you're kind of pottering along and it's like, oh, you know, we're tootling around the ocean and we're figuring things out and maybe we'll put a mine down here. And then all of a sudden, like, I feel like there should be like a surge in soundtrack because things start to get more intense. And then you're like, oh, wow, things are happening. And now we really need to pay attention. Oh my God.
So Mags, I mean, would you play it again?
Oh, it wasn't horrible. It's not my favorite game, but I would certainly play it again.
It's not. I'm shocked.
We talk about the 10-point scale. I was actually speaking with a friend of mine about this last night, and I was like, you know, when things are a 4 or below on a 10-point scale, maybe I try and talk people into playing something else. But as long as it's an okay game, like even if it's not my favorite thing, if people are super jazzed about it, I'm gonna have a good time. And people were super jazzed about playing this game. I just kind of felt bad as the captain. I feel like I let everyone down.
No, oh yeah, I can understand that feeling. Yeah.
Like, just give me like a job in the back where I have to just do something.
Well, ruining job.
Like,
you
did I miss
everything off?
When in your marathon did you play? Like, is this like the 4 a.m. game where you guys are all exhausted?
No, I think it was 2. I have no idea. I can barely put the timeline of that day together.
Can't blame you.
Because we played, the last thing we played of the whole marathon, and this was 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., was Castle of Burgundy. It was great. Like, that was the best idea ever.
You know what, though? That's like a warm blanket that you wrap yourself in.
That's what I'm saying. You're just like Feld.
Yeah. It's like, here we are. We're just like putting our little things out and rolling our dice. It's so nice.
I have these pigs. And it had the, like, I had never seen the promo, the expansion promo for Castle of Burgundy before. It has, like, goats.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Oh.
Yeah. And, like, some weird, like, buildings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the
kidding.
world buildings, like what are they, Lustgarten, I think. Whoa. I quite like the Lustgarten myself. Yeah, so I think, like, that acts as a wild building, like the goats act as a wild animal. Something like that, anyway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So then the last thing I got to play last night, I got to teach 2 people Nippon again, and I feel like I'm just like racking up plays of this game.
I really want to play that.
That's okay.
Good. I wish everyone could play it. I wish I could teach it remotely, because it's not a game I think would do so well as an app, but I think you could put it on Board Game Arena or Yucata.
I was just gonna say, is there a digital version of it anywhere?
I've not seen it yet. Does anyone in chat know?
Chat knows everything.
I know, right? But okay, but here's my question to you: are there any What's Your Games on any of those sites, like Zangwo or Madeira or any of them? Because I can't think of them.
I think the only likely place that it would be Boîte à Jeux. because they have like the kind of more obscure kind of ones. But Nicholas Co says no, which is a bummer. So yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
But I learned it in April at the gathering, but allergies. And as happens to me often, I just like, I think I sat through the first round or so and I was just like so spaced out. I was like, I'm really sorry, I just can't keep playing, but I wanted to so bad because it's really like, it seemed really cool. So I'll need a refresher for BGG Con, but I definitely want to try it. So
yeah, I could play it again. I've played it twice now and I'm terrible at it. So I clearly, I mean, but it's fun. I'm not great at area control, you know?
It's hard. And
yeah.
that game, you absolutely cannot win unless you're participating in that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Some area control mixed mechanism games, like you can like do this other thing instead, but no, you need to be in those regions.
Yup.
You need to scoop up free points when you can.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
So what else, Mags, did you play at your marathon thingy?
So we did Kanban and Arkwright, which were the like 1 and 2. Like that was our first and second game.
That's
and that was
how
like
Mags games. Yeah.
That's how we go. Well, the first time I did this marathon, we did almost all Splotter. We did like Greed and Roads and Boats and a couple others. And I would have liked to do that again, but 3 a.m. Splotter gets salty. Everybody gets real mad. There was nothing worse than we were playing Greed Inc. at like 2 a.m. and someone lost their last corporation and they still had to be in the game, but they had to come back later once they got like given another corporation. It got real bad. So I learned our lesson.
I've never played a Splotter game.
You
I'm gonna admit that right now. I should though. I should try something. We have Roads and Boats.
I really wish I had Roads and Boats. I'm so bummed. Like it was so.
Is that a game you don't own?
Oh, shut. I'm so embarrassed. It is, and you know, I thought it was too much, and quite frankly, I've evolved as an individual and a human being, and I'm growing, and I like the art was so off-putting to me.
Oh,
that poor like I was like, come on, and I didn't give it the credit it deserved, and then I kind of missed it. So I mean, if I can ever get a copy for a reasonable price, I will totally pick it up because like Food Chain Magnate, I love it. I'm terrible at it, but I love it so much. And Roads and Boats, it looks so good now to me as a more grown-up gamer, or I don't know, a more heavier
you and I
gamer.
Both have Indonesia pre-ordered, as we figured out the other morning.
I know, right? But no, do you have Great Zimbabwe?
No, my friend Ross has it, so I didn't think to pick it up this time until I absolutely need it.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's better. It's
really
one of those like lighter Splotters. So I was like, well, if I really want it, I'll get it later. But Indonesia is the one I really want.
I like lighter.
Yep. No, I mean that's a good thing. I think I think that's and I would consider Roads and Boats one of the lighter Splotters.
Okay.
But it's just
Stop talking, Marguerite. I can't get it, and you're making me envious.
Come over, Suze. We'll play. I'll even bake you a pie.
Okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna be driving up to Canada apparently for 8 hours. So
now you have to tell us what you've been playing, Suze.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been playing some stuff. The one I'm kind of really jazzed on right now is Fight for Olympus.
Oh yeah.
The new Mayfair 2-player. You know, kind of their 2-player line.
Can you see the shrink on here?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Matthias Kramer, right? 2-player game, and I love this game. I mean, it's you've got this little board that you put between the 2 players, and then you have this deck of cards, and they're like red, yellow, blue, or green, and then there's heroes that are kind of neutral or wild, and the board has Mount Olympus, the Oracle of Delphi, or Troy. And you play cards in these zones, and there's lanes across from each other. And when you have a character across from another character, they fight. And each character has attack and defense points. But then all the cards have different abilities on them and things like that, because each zone gives you a perk. So where you place your cards when you put them out really matters, because if you put them out in a spot where there's nobody opposing you, you get a perk from that zone. Like if you're in Troy, you get to draw an extra card. If you're in the Oracle of Delphi, you get to take one of the colored oracles, which becomes kind of a wild chit to help you get more cards out later and that kind of thing. So you can kind of strategically be like, okay, I'll put it in an empty lane and I'll get that perk. Or if you've got a great hero that you can cast, or I say cast because I play too much Magic, but that you can put out, you can attack your opponent and start doing damage to them and try to knock them out. But on top of that, it's all about this, I guess, hand management element, because you use your cards to get your cards into play, right? So you have to make this choice. Hey, I've got this amazing card, but, it's red, and I've got this other amazing card, and it needs a red card. You have to pay a red and a yellow and a blue card to get it out. So do I keep this card, or do I use these cards to spend to get the cards out into play? I love that hand management, that kind of multi-use card element, for lack of a better term. The deck is wild. It's just bananas, because you have these hero cards and their abilities are so over the top powerful. And you sometimes you look at it like, oh, broken. But all of them are so, super powered, that it almost balances itself out. And, they're harder to play, and they smartly made these hero cards wild. So they could play as any color to help you get other cards out. So you end up like, oh, I want to keep this ability so amazing, but I can't get them out for another 3 turns. So I got to spend them to get, like that tension, that management, that cost benefit. And like, it's just so, it's so good. And it's just so much fun. So anyway, in case you couldn't tell, I am all about the hype on Fight for Olympus. Plus, the game is flipping beautiful. The art on the board is gorgeous. It has this really rich, saturated color. Each zone is very distinct and it feels atmospheric, even though it's a very small board. And the card art is excellent. It uses kind of an uncommon palette for this theme of saturated colors, and kind of the artist has this sketchy art style. And so I think the card art's amazing. The board is amazing. The gameplay is amazing. So anyway, Fight for Olympus. I like it a little bit.
That sounds great.
Can I ask you, have you played the Felds, the Arena, and Arena Roma 2?
No, it's on my shelf of shame.
Well, it sounds really familiar, because like the lane fighting aspect to that. So for those of you watching, Feld put out 2 of these games. There's like the original one, and then kind of a fixed version, because the first one was bananas. And they're kind of similar in that aspect. It's a little like what you described mixed with Battle Line as far as lane fighting goes. And I'm very curious now, and it's right behind me. You saw it in Shrink. I really, really want to know how it plays in comparison. You don't have to do the multi-use card bit. That's the different bit for the Matisse Kramer one. But
okay,
I'm very excited to try it.
Well, yes. I mean, I could bring my Romas and I could teach you Fight for Olympus. And
I have so many Romas. I have all of them.
Yeah, all the Romas, which makes me think of tomatoes, and then I think of pizza, and now I want pizza.
Good thing I have booze.
So tonight, the sage advice, we wanted to talk about something that's coming up that some of us are involved in, that some of the people who are in the chat might be involved in too. So Marguerite, would you like to?
Okay. So coming up on November 5th, Extra Life does their big 24-hour game marathon stream and all that. So I am Stephanie Straw, and we're trying to wheedle Suze at this point. We're seeing how her schedule goes.
Yeah, I want to. I'm hoping I can make it work.
We're at least for part of the day, like even if you can just be there for a chunk. But we'll be streaming live from Card Kingdom. We will be doing ridiculous things to try and get dollars for the kids. Steph has done an amazing job so far. She's got over $6,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my
in
gosh, that woman is
donations.
out of control.
Yeah.
Like bananas.
She's well over
Bananas.
halfway to her 10K goal. So.
Her goal is by the end of the year to get $10,000 for Extra Life, and she does all of them through I think it's the Children's Miracle Network down in Arkansas, but I'm not positive what the name of that hospital is. I am going to be benefiting the Seattle Children's Hospital here in Seattle, and they're the Seattle Children's out here is really cool, and they have a lot of people that care a lot about charitable work. And so far, I'm at $500. I'm feeling all right. I just started funding.
But you just started, like
Yeah,
you
like
just
a day or two.
That's such amazing support.
But I'm really just like overwhelmingly like I get stupid sappy this time of year because I get really overwhelmed by like how generous and amazing everyone is about these types of things. One thing I will say I did today, I ordered a game for the stream, and maybe this will convince Suze to come see me. We will have a copy of Mask of Anubis for the stream. You will have
I want to come. I'm trying to make it happen. Oh my God. Why? Okay. That's amazing.
Mask of Anubis is similar to Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Like if anyone knows what that is, someone wears like a VR mask and has to describe a series of like maze passages or like and the mask is Anubis shaped, so it's a little puppy.
Oh my gosh. I really want to try this. It sounds amazing.
And it's about €30 at this point and can be picked up, or it's $45 to be shipped worldwide. And I'm super excited, and I was going to have someone bring it back for me, and then someone today very generously offered to put it in their luggage for me. And I'm very, very, very happy about that. Because the two people that so far have offered to mule things back from Essen for me are just like, as long as it's not Feast for Odin, we're all okay.
Oh, yeah.
I have Mask of Anubis, Honshu, and Capital Lux so far of things that aren't coming to the States.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
Excited.
Well, that'll be really cool for people who watch the live stream too, right? Because they get to peek at games that they might not have a lot of content out in the world yet to see what the games are like. So that's an amazing idea. I love the idea of you making an effort to pull in kind of Essen releases so people can get a peek at them. And
I'm hoping to also bring a couple other games that are in the similar vein, like things that maybe people haven't seen a lot of. Like
6-player Loop and Chewy?
Do you remember? I actually played 6-player Loop and Chewy with the blindfolds last time. Like that was nuts. That was really hard because I had Hunter as my partner, telling me when to.
I really want to see your monstrosity, Suze. I think that will be amazing.
What are you calling? I'm sorry, but what are you calling a monstrosity? Surely not a 6-player Loop and Chewy.
It's an amazing monstrosity.
Because that is you're a museum fan. You should have a greater appreciation of the work of art and the mastery of engineering, the feat of engineering that 6-player Loop and Chewy is. All right. I just want to make sure that we're getting the respect in order here.
I love all sorts of weird mods for the Lupin games, like the giant one that someone made in Germany.
Oh yeah, like the life-size one.
You had to stomp on a pedal to make
that
it go.
That would be amazing.
I've seen people with a speed alternator on the motor. It's just so ridiculous.
So you could make it go like
you can speed it up. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Not in my life. Oh,
yeah. So that's the next step.
Now let's talk about how we mod. I want to mod Mortimerosa now, like really bad. I want like a giant Mortimerosa now.
That would be cool.
Oh, like with like make our own with big boxes or something like that.
Like big boxes, and then you have to figure out what would work to muffle the sound enough, like small bean bags or something where, because the cube tower thing works because you can't actually tell where the stupid cube lands in the tower.
Yeah.
But the other day, Suze posted a photo of all of her Mortimerosa, and it got me thinking that there's got to be a way to make those into like some giant spectator thing.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be amazing. That would be fun to figure out. So, talk to me a little bit about what the plan is for Extra Life at, I don't know, this little game store that does
tiny game store.
Yeah, teeny tiny.
So this year we're kicking it 2 years ago, and we're going back to kind of the format where we all first got together. Card Kingdom will have 2 streams. One is going to be an RPG stream where the people that are donating to like mess up the RPG, like, and now he has a sword of unicorns and like
Oh boy.
and like shoots unicorns at people. And so that stream will be happening in one room, and then our stream will be cut to like 6 people, maybe up to 8, and we'll be a little bit more focused on like fun to stream board games, and then Panamax just to mess with Andrew, which I wish he was still here so I could really have in there. But so it'll be a few of us in that room playing board games and talking on the stream. So there'll be actually dual streams.
So much stream.
So many. And the hope is that we will also be able to wrangle in some guests, not only the owners of Card Kingdom, which is always really fun to have Lila and John come by, but I'm hoping to start reaching out to some Seattle area folk and getting them on the stream for a couple hours a piece. That's the hope, at least.
That would be cool.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're going back to that format, because it's so much fun that way. I mean, it's first of all, the RPG session is amazing, and I don't know who is DMing it, but a couple of years ago when they did that, it was so entertaining. And like when we would take a break from the board games, I'd totally go and like eavesdrop on them, and it was hilarious, and it was so much fun to see what donors were donating like $5 and like you were saying, like, give them this weapon, or does he get injured or not, you determine. It was a super interactive and really entertaining, because the story was so compelling, the characters were ridiculous and fun, but and then obviously the board games are just incredible. And I think that just from the little you've talked about trying to pull in the Essen releases and then really focusing on fun to watch games, I think that stream will be so great. I will say that last year's organization, as far as the chat with people who are watching the live stream, was pretty well handled. And if anybody who's watching this video now live or later as recording, from participating in this, the interaction with the chat during the live stream of the games makes the event. It's so much fun to talk with people, to chat with people online during the live stream. And especially in the wee hours, it feels like support. I mean, people who are making an effort to watch and chat at like 3 a.m. it just feels like they're there with you, kind of cheering you on for this. So I definitely encourage anybody who can't attend or join or isn't doing their own thing to at least drop into the chat once in a while on the live stream, because that's awesome when you do that.
Well, that's how I ended up getting to know all of you lovely ladies, was the 2 years ago, where I would just like pop in to chat. I think I'd kind of been friends on Twitter for a while, and then was just like loitering like a bad smell in the chat. And the way that the timing works, like, and that's the great thing about it being 24 hours, like everybody in every time zone can kind of take part in the chat. And so when I got up in Toronto, like 3 hours ahead of you guys, you were still in the wee hours, and I was like, it's breakfast time, let's check in and see how everybody's going. And it was super good. And it was like the chat had their own hangout going on while everybody was doing the streaming. So it's I mean, you guys think our chat is fun, you got to check out the 24-hour stream chat.
I can remember that year I was for some reason commentating on the stream, because I don't do that so well, and I was like there with the headphones on and the microphone, and one of the only people active in the chat, it was like 3 a.m. or something, was Aldi from Board Game Geek, and I had never spoken with him before, and I was just like, oh hi, how's the website? Like, it was really weird. I was so tired by that time. It was amazing. Oh my god.
So what complex board game can we teach each other at 3 a.m. when you're exhausted?
That's a good question, because I'm gonna learn Terraforming Mars this week.
So I want that kind of game. Everybody who's showing off pictures of it looks and sounds so fun.
I'm doing some random, like, so someone was asking, I run a board game like Facebook group in Seattle, and someone was like, hey y'all, I like games and I don't have a game group and I'd really like to meet some people. Is there anywhere we can go? And so from that spawned like a meetup next Thursday. at
Wow.
Optimism Brewing, and so I'm gonna teach some T-Mars, which everyone started calling it. I thought that was adorable. So now I have to learn it.
T-Mars.
I want to play T-Mars
Oh,
with
Bonacore,
T-Mars.
Bonacore would love that. Does Bonacore know that? Because he would love that story.
I can't wait because apparently I also got another friend of mine that's coming. He's gonna bring his, so I'm gonna see how many copies of T-Mars I can get at one
Whoa.
time. I'll just send that to Bonacore.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
just hug a stack of them or something just for him.
Well,
I've
because
had
they're
very
like
sick-
they're literally sold out. Like my
Yeah.
store is getting the couple that we pre-ordered, and that's about it.
Yeah,
There are
I
no
mean,
more.
they went in the blink of an eye at Gen Con, so I'm not surprised.
The T-Mars buzz is strong.
Oh, so strong.
Dang it.
Exactly. I want T-Mars with V-Mars playing. That's exactly what I want, Nicholas. You are correct.
I want this in my life.
We need that, definitely. So yeah, like we got to think, well, when is it? November 6th? Is that after Essen? Yeah, maybe you could do Feast for Odin.
Oh, there you go.
That's a 3 a.m. learner right there. Boom.
I would do
my
it.
gosh. Yeah. But what sound effects would you make with it though?
Oh,
Like,
shing, shing, shing.
Oh my God. What just happened? Oh my goodness.
That's like that's sword noises, like,
Absolutely. That is what they sound like.
or like a Viking horn.
There
I mean,
you
it's
go.
boat noise-ish, but different enough that I think it's distinct.
Can I tell you that Sue's, when we were learning Panamax during the original stream, she made this boat noise and it was amazing.
So good.
And like a month later, we mentioned it on Twitter, and our friend Peter had a sound clip of her, like SoundCloud clip of her making the wee noise. It was amazing.
Well, it's important. I mean, it's like when you play a racing game, you have to
Yes.
make the car noises, right? If you don't, I feel like you're not playing the game. You're just moving bits around on a board. And so if you have a game with big boats,
Yeah.
boats aren't silent. We're not in space,
That's true.
right? So they make noises. Come on, let's amp up the theme.
Yeah.
That's it's,
All right,
it's
we're
about
on-
thematic.
We're on drink number 2, but this one is in a skull mug.
Oh my
Look,
gosh.
guys, all fancy. I like it.
I have exactly that skull mug, and I've had many skull mugs like it. I think there is one factory somewhere that just like pumps those skull mugs out. I love it. So good.
So for Extra Life, Nicole, are you doing anything? Or are you going to hang out with us and stream?
I will probably hang out with you on stream. I have a funny feeling that weekend is the FFG Worlds, so my other half will be down in the HQ of FFG playing in the Netrunner Worlds. So I will be here probably in my onesie, hanging out in chat.
Oh gosh, Marguerite, we got to order new onesies.
I know. I was trying to think if I want what kind I want. I almost want to make it part of my funding to let other people choose which onesie I buy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so that and what a perfect segue because that was actually my next question. And I want to come back to the onesie question. I feel like
Back to it.
I feel like the onesie thing is important for us to address tonight. But
Yeah.
that was really a question is that, I think that we've all found that setting funding goals can just really help drive donations.
Sure. I mean, they're
Um,
fun, right?
There's sometimes and sometimes they're not. So what are some ideas that for fun kind of funding milestones, whether in general or maybe specific to how, the Mox Extra Life night goes that we can like consider adding. I remember Nicole, I think you had one where people got they got mailed little maple candies from Canada.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so awesome. I loved that
So-
one.
That was an idea, and I think I had like postcards as well. Just because I'm not super creative, so I like getting postcards in the mail. So I figured that could be my goal for way back when that happened, like last May, I guess it was. So yeah, that was fun. But I missed out on this local group who does the tabletop Extra Life in Toronto. Theirs was on Saturday, but I couldn't make it, which was a bummer because they had a thing where it was like it was free entry. You could come in and play, but the bar that they held it at, they were donating like a portion of drink sales to Sick Kids, which is the local kids hospital in Toronto.
Oh, that's cool.
As well as like doing fundraising online and stuff. So yeah, I liked that like kind of real life aspect of it. So you didn't have to do 24 hours. You could just pop in, play some games, buy some drinks, have some fun. But yeah, the 24-hour thing is, I think you need to come up with some pretty cool and creative things for fundraising for that. And I love the idea of like little rewards that you might send to people, or that interactivity. I think that's super key, because like you want people to, before the event, donate for a thing that will happen during the event, and then they can watch and take part from the chat and stuff like that. So I think that's key, is having that little link. Yeah.
The children are awake.
We're just gonna hit mute over here for a second. Excuse me. Hey, Stephanie's not here, and so that means that we don't have Gidget, making noises in the background. So apparently,
Gidget
crying children will be replacing Gidget tonight. In the
Yeah.
pool of Gidget, we have a crying 4-year-old.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a barking Jake yet. So
So one thing I'm kind of proud of Extra Life 2 years ago is that we are still, for some reason, the #1 hit if you Google onesie parade, right?
wow.
So at some point we did like an incentive where if we raised like, I think it was $500 in that hour or something, that we were going to do a onesie parade through Card Kingdom in the store. So this year I have my mind set on a similar parade, but maybe down the street.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we get, because my onesie goal, I haven't even put my incentives up yet. It's going to happen in the next week. But my onesie goal is going to be $1,000. So as soon as I hit 1,000, I have to wear a onesie for 24 hours. I think at 1,200, I'm going to do something like where people get to choose which onesie that is. Like, I might already own 2, but I'm certainly open to owning more. Maybe a hippo this time.
Ooh. Is there? I mean, okay. So let's. I mean, one, there's no limit to onesies, right? Let's just get that out on the table. Like, you can't have too many onesies. It's a ridiculous concept. It's not possible. So, are we on agreement on that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay, so hippo is good. So I have an owl and a koala.
Yes.
and but there are factors to consider that people who are unfamiliar with a onesie may not understand, or a kigurumi. The owl has wings that like connect from here to and it's very bunchy. So, like, already these things are flipping huge, right? And you're like swimming in like fleece, like you're basically in this huge fleece bag. And then now I've got these wings and they're all bunchy, so keep that in mind. And then also tails. Many of these outfits have tails, and most of us board game sitting down at some point. And whether or not you want to be feeling like you're sitting on a big fleece diaper or not is totally your call. But be aware that might be a factor going into your onesie purchase. Just putting that out there.
The frog one has little mitts, and so you have to either tuck them in or wear them. It's really uncomfortable.
Wow. I had thought about getting a dinosaur one, but it does have like a big tail. So
Right.
Our first year, Bebo and Kyle had dinosaurs. It was adorable.
And was Steph a monkey? I think she was a monkey.
She was a monkey.
That was adorable.
And Susan was an owl, and I was a frog.
It was great.
And Tiffany was a corgi, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. They had a bunch of new ones come out, and I failed to decide on one at Fan Expo, which is a big convention that happens in the beginning of September here. They have a stall, because I think they're based out of Montreal, or at least the one where I've gotten my onesies from. And so they have a stall at this expo every year. And I was like, I don't know, like, what one should I get? And then I just ended up not deciding. So maybe I'll buy one in spirit.
I like it. That's a good plan. That's a good plan. Okay, so Margaret, you're saying we also did the thing where, one, you haven't even gone like you're talking about like onesie braids, but woman, let's talk about the real goals, because we had hair dyeing goals.
Oh yeah.
And we also had
the
Tattoos,
tattoo goal.
yeah.
Okay. So then we're getting serious. So at 10K our first year, each of
So
us
good.
would get a meeple tattoo. So at BGG Con 2 years ago, I think 6 of us got meeple tattoos.
Yeah.
I got to go first because I was willing to set mine on fire. Because tattoo artists will be more than happy to set things on fire for you.
Yeah.
It was a good idea. The tattoo goal is an excellent idea. I think, and I don't know how realistic it is, but I think if I were to do it again, if I were to get another Extra Life tattoo, it would be double the goal, so $20,000 instead of 10.
Yeah.
I'm totally willing to do that, by the way. Any of y'all want to donate $10,000 to the cause right now? I'm totally in for a tattoo. Then also big goals were something like hair dyeing and those types of things. And I am considering something similar to that now. I haven't cut my hair in a really long time, y'all. So I may have a hair cutting goal, or I might have people that could pay to prevent me from doing that if they want. But we'll see how this all shakes out. It's a really weird year because last year I did a big auction. That was like my big fundraising thing. This year I will be moving that month, so I don't want to do the auction because I will not be able to do that properly.
Right.
So I need to find
That's
something
rough,
equally as taxing, but maybe not as time taxing.
Yeah.
Man, that will be interesting. I will look at thinking about some other cool goals that you guys might be able to do.
Right. Any suggestions are welcome. I will consider them. I'm not taking all things suggested to me, but I will certainly consider them.
I mean, you could always do because you have a semi-regular Sunday live stream, so you could set not necessarily a goal for you to reach, but like if somebody donates like $500, they could be a guest, or I don't know, like there's incentives like that. Yeah, there's incentives like that could be like parallel to the whole idea of.
And something I've never done, which I always kind of wanted to do, was willing to like teach someone a game that's online or something in case they're not local, or if they are local, just teach them the game.
Oh yeah.
Like a game night or something similar. I haven't done that before, so I'd have to figure out kind of logistics of it.
That's a really cool idea. I like that.
What about have we talked about playing games with viewers or with donors? So like what about code names with donors? You know, and letting donors join teams. I think that's technically totally feasible.
Yeah.
Right. I have my Codenames Pictures glasses. I haven't been able to play Codenames Pictures yet, but I have the amazing glasses that go with them. So I feel like that's an opportunity.
Totally. I think that's a really fun way to get people involved and to help drive donations and things like that. So lots to think about.
That's going to be fun. Can't wait.
Well, if anybody in the chat has any suggestions on what people can do either for events in Extra Life or for fundraising goals for Extra Life, drop it in the chat or tweet it or send us a note, because we are planning and we would love your help. Crowdsourcing ideas is the best way to get ideas, because then I don't have to come up with them myself. Since, hey, if anybody who joined us late, we talked about our signature drink of the evening earlier, and we can pop that back up for anybody who's joined us late, so you know what the deal is. Because after all, games on the rocks. The rocks are the rocks are the ice in the drink. Get it? Okay. Anyway. So tonight's signature cocktail is the Sage Advice Cocktail, wonderfully designed by Marguerite herself, with 2 ounces of tequila, a half ounce of an alcohol I can't pronounce. That's blue. blue curacao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yay. 2 ounces of lime juice, some simple syrup, and 3 fresh lightly bruised sage leaves all put together. It's delicious, right, Marguerite?
Yes, it is delicious.
Excellent. So hopefully everybody who is watching this after we record or has kindly joined us in our chat is enjoying, if not our signature drink, then they are enjoying a beverage of their choice on their own right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting kind of close to the hour mark. So ladies, I'll put it back to you. What else should we talk about tonight? Any burning board game topics on your mind? Any games that you didn't get to talk about previously?
Mm.
I was sort of wanting to talk about some Essen stuff because I feel like that's like
Let's
it's on our
see.
minds, right?
Whew. It's coming up.
What's Essen?
Oh, it's this like little board game thing that happens.
You might have heard of it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Not really, but okay. So what are you looking forward to?
So I will not be present at Essen, and if I'm not mistaken, neither will you or Nicole. But it takes place every year in Essen, Germany, which is a small little mining town full of pretzels and lots of food I can't eat. It's fabulous, but it's mostly a kind of a big trade show. Someone's like, Essen is a city. The spiel in Essen at the
Yeah, I know, right? We never say the full thing.
I know, but well, no one does.
No.
What's great about it, though, is that a lot of companies, especially European companies, save up their big announcements, their big releases for this one show every single year. So we get kind of this desert. Oh my God, Nicole, that's the worst pun. I can't even look at your chat right now.
Horrible. Nicole just made a horrible pun in the chat.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But everyone, like, they save up all their really, really good, big, heavy releases for the winter, and they release them at Essen. So those of us who like Euro games especially, but some lighter stuff also comes out, we all get kind of a holiday where everything comes out all at once.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of titles coming out really, really soon. And so I've been pouring through, there's a preview that Board Game Geek and Eric Martin, they collaborate and make, and it tells you all of the games and where you can find them and how much they cost and if they're coming to the States. And it's the best resource ever. But it basically spends all my money for me for a couple months. Just all of it.
So Marguerite, that list that Eric Martin puts out, which like you said is amazing, and Eric's kind of the best. It can be pretty daunting. I mean, at this point it was like, I don't know, last time I checked it was like at 700 items long. If somebody wanted to like distill that down a little bit to like, maybe they're a Meeples Included fan and they wanted to distill that down a little bit, do you have any suggestions on what they could potentially look at?
So if you look at Meeples Included on Board Game Geek, they do have an active geek list. We went through when the Spiel preview was at 524. We went through and picked out around 40 titles that we're excited about. Oh. It has since grown to 44, and it will grow to probably around 60 before the actual Spiel in Essen. And Blue Sapphire is very correct. Rahdo also does a fabulous job of distilling down and picking out things that he's interested in. So especially if you like two-player games and non-confrontational games, Rahdo is an excellent resource. If you're a little more prone to liking confrontation or liking multiplayer games, the Meeples Included list might serve you a little bit better. What I have not included are my like top 10 weirdo games. So like the Perfumer is not on there and a couple others. I plan on making that its own list because there are some crazy things coming out at Spiel Essen this year.
Speaking of which.
The Perfumer, if anyone out there is listening, is from the Taiwan Board Game Design Group. Okay, no, you have to come back to that. Hold on. Hold the phone because I need to talk about the Perfumer first. Because it's like the old like Smellorama. It's like scented cards.
Oh, like scratching smell or just
I can't think. I mean, is this the first board game that officially uses like hobby board game that uses scent? No,
unfortunately, a lot of them have. There were these little like canisters that got made that were scented. So a couple of board games used them all at one time.
Huh.
There's
Oh.
another one coming out soon where it's kind of like
Adventure
that.
Sense.
Yeah, but it's
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a baby shower where you have to smell things and pass them along, but the board game is basically that. But the perfumer is a little bit different from that. But okay, Suze, now you have to show it off because you said you had it, and I'm amazed that you have this. How did you get this?
Like, yeah, tell me all about this.
I worked
insanity.
with my friend who helps with the Taiwan board game design group,
Oh.
and I arranged to have some things sent over. So this is an assemble at home. You get this huge, ginormous box where this is packed flat, and then you have to assemble it, which is extremely stressful.
Wow.
But this is a hologram arcade that partners with an iPad, and the game has a free app. The game is called Queen Strike by Hoplay Games. And basically it works. It has an insert for an iPad, and the iPad will project images down, and there's a reflective surface in here that creates a hologram effect. What's also really cool is there's this detection zone board that gets placed right down in front, and there's a little gap up here in the cutout for the iPad camera to face down, and so the app works with this detection zone and the camera. So you actually place cards on the detection zone, and then the camera reads what card you've put down and then projects holograms accordingly. And it's gimmicky as all get out, and it's so incredibly fabulously charming, in part because I guess that this is a really popular cartoon IP in Asia.
Oh, okay.
And so it's really well designed and animated and acted. Like, there's sound, and the animation is 3D computer animation, and it's just adorable. And so it's really immersive. It's a very simple game. It's really designed for children, but a lot of people feel very strongly about technology in games, and I do as well. I'm not afraid of it. I love it. It's not going to take over board games or anything. So I think that when I see games that are being super innovative, I love that so much. And so it's been really fun to experiment with. I'll probably like Periscope or do a little recording of it in action, because there's just no way to show how this thing works in like a still photo or anything like that. But this is another thing that I think is going to be more widely available at Essen if you're going and you want to carry a giant box with you.
That is something amazing right there.
Last year there was a kids games. Did either of you play this weird deduction game? It used mirrors and these little like magicians that you put into the middle, where you try to like kind of look up their skirts and see numbers and stuff.
Oh, I actually know the game. I didn't play it, but I know the game you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure I would remember Upskirt, the game.
For children. Yeah.
It was similar to that without the holograms, but it was very much like you put things down and then you tried to use your like visual perception between these little like slits in the game to see if you could see the appropriate numbers to figure stuff out. And it was as if it was trying to show you information you shouldn't see necessarily. It was really weird. I love all these like weird little games that you just don't see anywhere.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they do smaller print runs, which means they're harder to get. But the reality is a lot of these games just wouldn't sell in mass quantities. So, I understand it, and it's for me a lot of them. Like the Perfumer is a game I have to admit I have no interest in at all. It's not my thing. But I can appreciate and respect what they're doing, and be glad for doing something different, and I think, games are so iterative nowadays, and I have zero problems with that either, but it's kind of fun when you see something come a little bit out of left field and you're like, what is that? So I'm really looking forward. I've seen a few people starting to talk about it online, so I'm really, really looking forward to hearing more about the Perfumer, although I doubt I will ever feel any need to actually play it, but
I'm intrigued as well.
Well,
sorry.
Okay.
I find I've never been to Spiel, but I hear that it is really big for families. And so it's funny for like hobby gamers, they're like, oh, there's all these amazing Euro games come out and stuff, but then there's like also loads of family and kids games, I think, that come out, or that European people are more likely to play heavier games also. I think the hobby market is different there, but I really love the idea of it being like, yes, it's a trade show, but it's like heavily populated with families taking their kids there. Like, I really like that aspect to it. And so hearing about like really cool, like, yes, gimmicky, but really cool family games like that is like intriguing to me.
Well, when I went to Essen, one of the only like big play spaces there were, because it's not terribly large for play space, but one of the biggest ones that there was Queen Games. And I remember it was 2014, so they were doing Banana Party, right? And so there was just all of these kids everywhere playing Banana Party. And it was pretty neat to see, because this is like this weird stand-up game with these like pegs that you kind of put stuff on, and it was just really neat to see like that many like weird German kids playing.
Yeah. It's so awesome. That's the one where you like squeeze the banana, right?
No. This is like the climbing one, like up a vertical surface.
Oh man. What's the one where you squeeze the banana then?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's and you know the convention that follows after Essen in the States is BGG Con. And I know one of the reasons I really like going to BGG Con is that's where you can pick up a lot of Essen releases in the States. And actually, the reason why that even triggered is I thought about all the wacky games that the BGG library has, where you get to squeeze all kinds of things in different games if you want to. So.
Exactly. I mean,
that is for Master of Thieves or whatever to come back.
Yes, the one with stuff. Yeah,
the drawers.
Banana Macho. That's it. With the squeezing. There we go.
Thank you, Sen.
Yeah. My friend John Paul DeCoste, he manages the boardroom in Halifax, and that is like one of his favorite games ever. But going back to Essen Games and BGG Con, I really like they make the effort to have some Essen releases in the hot games section as well. Like, Mombasa last year, I think maybe was one of them. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that, because sometimes like it's just freshly out. I don't necessarily want to leap into buying it just yet. So getting to try stuff is like super, super great. And there's lots of amazing volunteers who spend time teaching those games there, which is so good. Like BGG Con has such a good community of volunteers. It's really great. So
yeah, they're phenomenal. What are they called? They're I forget like their team, like what they call themselves when they're part of Team Geek. Yeah. They're great, and they have such great jerseys. I kind of just want a jersey, but like I don't want to like present that I'm volunteering. Like I don't want to like fake anybody out, but the jerseys look super comfy to like stalk around the convention in.
I have always wanted one of those jerseys. Can I tell you right now? Yeah. But it requires me to take my one vacation of the year and turn it into work.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad about that. I don't know what to do. Like I want to help them. I love Board Game Geek, and I absolutely appreciate what they do, but they put on an amazing con that I want to participate in.
Yes. Totally. And have a fun time rather than a fun time that is also responsibility.
Right. It's like it is my vacation every single year, so I can't do it. But I want those jerseys.
One day. Margaret, maybe we should talk about Extra Life jerseys. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I wonder what it takes to get a jersey made.
Research.
I wonder if I can get it in rainbow.
Maybe.
Oh, that would be amazing. Okay, we've got ideas flowing now. I like this.
Glitter rainbow like jerseys. Is that a thing?
Well, like you know how like they have stripes on them? We could get like iridescent stripes on the sleeves, and
that's what I want.
You could get like your nickname on the back. You know, you could get Maggie Bot in the back.
I think you need to see if somewhere makes Lisa Frank print jersey.
Oh my gosh, where's Stephanie? And now I really extra super duper miss Stephanie, because can you imagine the noises Stephanie would be making right now at the idea of a Lisa Frank jersey? Oh my goodness.
I mean, even just like a onesie, I think she would lose it. But
No, yeah.
A couple of years back, I almost went to BGG Con with a custom-made like pink ladies jacket, like from
Oh my god.
with my name on the back.
Like a varsity style jacket? Like, oh, like the satin style jacket.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Don't ask me. I just was late on Twitter one day and I decided that was a thing I needed, but it almost happened.
Ooh, Margaret, we should talk because we could make Extra Life buttons. I have a button maker.
Oh,
I have
Yes.
a little 1-inch button maker. We could do like, would it be fun to do like a Meeples, I'm sorry, like an Extra Life 1-inch button, and we could make a bunch, and then if people donated, we could send them one.
I think that's a great idea, and I still haven't done my Meeples Included button outreach that I was going to do. I have a bunch of buttons from Meeples Included. I just needed a week where things didn't go badly. But yeah, that's totally in my plan, so we should do that.
buttons.
Okay.
Buttons is great.
Very cool.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. We can have a button making party with
Yay.
pie. It'll be amazing.
I like it. Can it be pizza pie and regular pie?
100%.
Okay.
You have to balance out. Like,
How do you feel? Like, how do you feel on quiche, Marguerite?
Not great.
Okay.
I'm
We'll
a
go with
texture-based
pizza.
eater. It's not a thing.
No, I totally understand.
All right.
need to
I
plan
think
this out.
we've probably wound down our
Yep.
episode.
I think so. We're talking about eggs.
The menu
Yeah.
of our button making party. But I super loved having you guys here tonight. I was super glad to be able to stream. I'm sad that Steph is not here.
I'm also sad, but I'm super appreciative that Ace helped us out tonight. He's a
Thank you
superstar.
so much.
Oh my god,
He-
Ace is amazing.
Yeah, made this work for us, which is really great. And it was just nice to get to chat about games and charity events and stuff. It's been too long since we've gotten to talk. Hopefully again soon.
Yeah.
We will see.
So why don't we, Nicole, can you tell people where they can find you if they want to follow up on Feast of Odin questions or some
Ooh.
such information?
Well, you can find me. My personal account on Twitter is iHeartMuseums, and I also run the Twitter account for the dailyworkerplacement.com. So the Twitter handle is DWP_blog. And we just published an article today about play and kids games, if you would like to check that out. And then usually that's the best place to find me. I'm on Instagram as well, but Twitter is the best. So how about you, Mags?
I can be found Maggibot, MAGGIBOT, on BGG and Twitter and Facebook and all the things. If you add me on
All
Facebook
the
and I don't know
places.
you by your name, you need to send me a message. That's the one thing about Facebook. I will say you need to send me a message. And then you can find us on Meeples Included, which has a Facebook and a Twitter and a website. It's meeplesincluded.com. And if you can't find me in any of those places, I don't know where you're looking. So
Not hard enough, that's what.
I don't
I,
ask me.
I respect your handle, your internet handle consistency. I think it's a beautiful thing. I've got like 40,000 usernames spread out all over the universe, and it's horrible, and I hate it.
Trying to remember your BGG name is really hard because I'm like, it's not given. Like, I know it's not given. I know that.
It's not a small tropical monkey. No.
No.
Right.
Although I understand why you would think that.
But it's
Thank
close.
you.
Yeah.
Close enough.
It's actually gibbous, Gibbous.
Like the
I
moon.
am an amateur astronomer as well. And so that's a phase of the moon. Again,
Maybe
not a
it
small
could be a moon key.
Oh God. Oh, the puns are coming out. It's time to wrap the show.
All right.
But you can find me on Twitter at 425 Suzanne. I tweet a lot. I always warn people of that because I think if they don't realize that, they're like, oh, I'll follow her on Twitter. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I got to get out of this. And then you can also see I produce some board game content related to crowdfunding campaigns around board games and around board game apps for the Dice Tower on their YouTube shows, Board Game Breakfast. And I I've previously been on Board Game Blender. I took a little bit of a sabbatical because there's just so much stuff going on, but I'm also on Board Game Blender and jumping back into that pool as well. So if you ever want to see that content, you can check out that. And
I guess I should say I am on Board Game Blender. I did take a sabbatical as well. Apparently we all just took sabbaticals. But I'm trying to get back in there now because I love Z and the fam. And so Board Game Blender is Aces. They do like a theme-based one instead of just a show-based one for collaborations. I like it.
Yeah, awesome. And thank you everyone into our chat. Anybody who is watching this afterwards, we hope that you can join us live sometime because we have an amazing chat that goes on. And sometimes you'll see us like a little distracted or laughing randomly and looking like we're a little odd because we're so amused and engaged in the Twitch chat as well. So thank you to all of our wonderful chatters and friends in the Twitch chat room. It's amazing that you come and talk about games with us on a Friday night. And we love you and appreciate you. And thank you to everyone that might watch this later. We hope that you enjoy it. If you ever have any suggestions for topics that you'd like us to discuss on Games on the Rocks, you can contact all of us via the various methods that we just mentioned, and we'll see if we can make that into the schedule. And until the next time that we get to stream all together and hopefully have our 4th member back, thank you, everybody, and play lots of games. And we hope that we get to see you very, very soon.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers. Ta-da. Oh, and we have no music because Stephanie's in charge of the music. So we have no send-out music. Sing. Somebody sing.
That was Games on the Rocks. That's right. Games on the Rocks. Woo.